kind of, unfortunately for me, more of a situation, Davis, where I know who the other guys are, and that speaks to the next player that we're going to talk about in Marquez Valdes-Scantling, who had 400 receiving yards last year, 3 touchdowns, and his ADP is 148. He's the 53rd wide receiver taken. And look, I understand your commentary about Rodgers, and if he likes you, he throws to you, and if he doesn't, then he just doesn't. But I mean, he had the chance in Green Bay for several years and was a big disappointment. I'm not going to be in on this player. I'm sorry.
Yeah, MVS for his career, 17 and a half yards per reception, 13 touchdowns on only 247 targets. That would be well above average. And I think, honestly, probably if things work out for the Chiefs how they wanted to, MVS is not going to have that great of a role for fantasy football. Not going to be a guy that you want to start every single week. Now, maybe a guy that you are using as a result of injuries or bye weeks or whatever, because, kind of in the same way that Hardman hung around, Demarcus Robinson would be rostered in those leagues. I think MVS is better than those guys. But what happens when you remove Tyreek Hill from an offense? You got to have someone who can take the top off of defenses. You have to be able to create the space for Smith-Schuster, for Travis Kelce. Andy Reid's offenses are all about the screens. And if you kind of historically look at Andy Reid offenses, they've always had someone like Marquez Valdes-Scantling in that role, and not only the guys who have been great at it, right? So Deshaun Jackson obviously was one of them, Tyreek Hill, but they've also had, other guys in that role. Demarcus Robinson kind of served in that role a little bit last year when they changed Tyreek Hill's role. They started playing Tyreek out of the slot more. Tyreek had the lowest average depth of target of his career. So MVS is probably a guy who matters a little bit more for real football than fantasy football. I have been taking a lot of MVS in best ball leagues. One of the reasons being I don't think Sky is going to be one of the starting 3 wide receivers to start the year. So wouldn't really be surprising to see MVS have a pretty healthy role maybe the first month of the season.